of it, cracked through the covers, 4 runs. Not your classical cover drive, but very, very effective, and he got it in the middle of the bat. 19 without loss.
Yeah, dismissive from Zach Crawley. He gets a no ball as well, but he just stands. He's just reacted to that ball, and I think a lot of us are seeing quite a lot of Zach Crawley. I wonder whether he does overthink things a little bit. When he at his best, he's a very simple player. Try and hit the ball at the top of the bounce. Plays some absolutely glorious shots, but just stand still, react, and not too much premeditation. He's good enough to do that when he does.
Akash Dipin again bowls, and this one's coming in just a bit off the pad. Ricochet fielded at short leg, no run. 20 without loss then. Crawley's on 5, Duckett is on 13. Both of them have faced more or less the same number of deliveries. Sometimes one batter in an opening partnership just doesn't get enough strike, but that hasn't been the case. 21 and 24 respectively, balls faced. Never tire of this side, particularly for people like me who get here every once in a while, but not as often as some others. He bowls down the wicket, he comes and it flashes at it, striking through the offside, outside edge, flies over the slip cordon. This is hard to understand, but that's effectively the way he plays, I suppose. 24 without loss with that boundary.
Yeah, the dance down hasn't really worked for him. We've got a lot of luck. I suppose the good old adage of if you're going to slash hard, it kind of takes the slips out of the equation. He wasn't in zero control of that.
Yeah, that was fairly wide as well. Just sort of got the outside edge and flew to the third man boundary. 24 now England without loss, having chosen to bat. Another toss that Shubman Gill's called incorrectly. Akashdeep bowls, and this is a much better shot off the back foot, cracked away into the covers. Much more control, much more watchful there, waited on it and dispatched it into the cover boundary for 4. 28 without loss. So after a maiden, 3 boundaries in this over.
Back of the length and just punch. A lovely shot. So we've seen kind of the best and the worst, I suppose, of Zach Crawley in these 3 balls. A glorious cover drive. We will say an unnecessary risk to dance down. He will say dancing down has put the pressure on the bowler for that ball, which is a slightly shorter one. He's able to punish him, but he has survived so far.
Jaiswal is the man under the helmet. Here's Akashdeep in, goes and bowls, and Crawley comes down the wicket, flicks it away, or attempts to, off his pad. Thinks of a run, it isn't there. Pant collects, running across. 28 without loss at the end of the 8th over. Yes, Andy.
One more ball.
Oh, one more ball, sorry.
There's one of those subtle no balls, wasn't there, when he's signalling 4, but just before 4 he did it. And if I was scoring, I would 100% miss that kind of stuff. That would be...
They have a hooter in the IPL, don't they, when there's a no ball?
Yes.
I'd like to have that in all cricket where we have no
Please,
balls judged by the
no
team.
more IPL stuff in Test match cricket. Please. It is the purest form. Let's leave it the way it is.
Yeah, maybe not a hooter, maybe a harp playing a nice little melody for a few seconds.
Well, here's Akashdeep in bowls, and this one's left alone, but moving in after it passed the batter. That reminds me, it's not a memory that former India wicketkeeper Kiran More likes to talk about, but that triple 100 of Graham Gooch here. I think More dropped him, 3 times or 4 times, something like that.
Really? Dropped him on 36.
Yes.
So I don't remember that.
He dropped him once again after
dropped him early on.
And he said the ball would just wobble after it had passed him, so after the edge. But at least that was his explanation.
Well, I saw the one he dropped when he was on 30. He didn't see much wobbling there. But...
explanation. Some would call it an excuse. Change in bowling then. Siraj coming in, and I think this might be a good time as the field settles for Duckett to face Siraj for the first time, to welcome Simon Mann to take over commentary as well after a word from Alistair Cook.
There's an early change. I think we'll see a couple more from deep this end, and then Bumrah will follow him, going what I would like against the slope. I mean, a good competitive 40 minutes of cricket.
Yeah, it has. It really has. As you'd expect at the start of a test match. Here's Siraj bowling outside the off stump. Nothing there from Duckett. Goes through quite low to Rishabh Pant. Beautiful day at Lord's. The members have been allowed to take their jackets off today. They're still wearing their ties. Just what you want when you come to cricket, isn't it? You want to wear your tie. 28 for no wicket. Crawley 13. Duckett 13. It's probably one of those days looking round the ground when you're happy to be sitting in the shade. Sun on full beam. Shade in the mound stand and the tavern stand to our left. Upper deck of the grandstand. Some of the Warner stand as well, as that one's played away into the onside. And they go through for a single down to Washington Sundar at backward square leg. One more to Duckett. He goes to 14 and England to 29 for no wicket. 9th over of the morning. There have been some encouragement for India's bowlers, and Ben Stokes at the toss this morning, and well, Shubman Gill as well, saying they would have bowled first, saying if there's anything there, it's going to be there on the first day. And generally it gets a little bit easier here. That's been the trend in both championship matches and also test matches. It's been quite tricky. It can be quite tricky, but then other games you've had overhead conditions that say bowl first. Siraj now to bowl to Crawley. 2 slips in a gully and a short leg, and forward goes Crawley, plays it back to the bowler, who picks up and hurls it to Rishabh Pant, the wicket keeper. Alistair Cook has gone. Cheteshwar Pujara is in alongside me. Let's just slightly adjust your microphone a bit there, Cheteshwar. Pull it up. There we go. That's it. Good morning to you. Siraj turns, pavilion behind him. It's absolutely packed in that pavilion. Siraj bowls and Crawley drives up to the grandstand for 4. It's a fine shot. Well, he's just beginning to find his range. He played one good shot through the offside in the previous over. I mean, he's easy on the eye when he makes decent contact outside the off stump. The problem is his strength can be his weakness as well. Crawley to 17. England to 33 for no wicket.
Good morning. I think it's a good start by the England team. They've been a little nervous in between.
Back with Siraj. Tries again. Going to bowl to Crawley, and Crawley gets the ball that's on off stump. He comes forward, plays it way into the offside. I think he was inclined to attack that, and Siraj sensed it as well. You've got the slope to work with here at Lord's, even if the pitch is flat and true. Just angling in a bit down the slope from Mohammad Siraj, and Crawley checked the shot. I think he was minded to belt that through the offside, just checked it. Siraj turns at the far end, back to his mark. So 2 slips in the gully, 3 saving one on the offside, and Jaiswal there at short leg. And it's Siraj, purposeful, bustling run. Bowls to Crawley, down the pitch, looking to flick that into the onside, struck on the pad. Siraj, so much energy, rushing forward, hurls the ball at the stumps, or underarms at the stumps, and sends Crawley back. Crawley moving it around and down the pitch this morning, trying to unsettle India's bowlers. Well, so far England unscathed after 42 minutes, 33 for no wicket. Sorry, we sorted your microphone out.
Yeah, now it's fine.
Yeah.
So it was a nervous start for the England batters, but they'll be happy with this. I think there have been some exciting shots, I would say. The pitch has a bit more bounce on it. This one is slightly different pitch from normally what you see. I mean, there's enough lateral movement, but there's a bit more bounce. And Indian bowlers, they're just still trying to find the right length to hit the stumps, because they haven't been able to hit that stump quite often. But the England batters, the way they have started, I mean, they're trying to put some pressure back on the bowlers.
Right, Jasprit Bumrah has changed ends, as we thought he might. He's now bowling from the nursery end of the ground, runs away from us to bowl to Duckett round the wicket. That's on the hip of Duckett's, flicked away down towards fine leg. They're off for 1. Duckett thinks about the second. He was minded to go there and then decided against it. Akashdeep had the ball in his hand. It's quite a long boundary down there, but Akashdeep got the ball into Pant swiftly, probably just as well they didn't come back for the second. It's not a day to run yourself out, I don't think.
Nah, no way. And this pitch is, because the sun is out, the weather is hot, this pitch is going to get better to bat on. So as a batter, you want to spend as much time as possible. I think the first session will be a crucial one. We saw a lot of deviation of the pitch, but it might settle down after lunch.
34 for no wicket with that single to Duckett. He's on to 15, so the field's changed over for the right-handed Crawley. Anything could happen here. Bumrah against Crawley. 3 slips the gully, short leg. Wide open acres on the offside. Bumrah bowls, and that's outside the off-stump, curving away a bit down the slope. And Crawley this time looks at it and allows it to go past. And collected by Rishabh Pant. It seems to me, Cheteshwar, most Indian cricketers, famous Indian cricketers, past and present, have been at Wimbledon the last couple of days. I've seen quite a few of them on various social media sites that they've been there. You haven't been?
No, I want to, but my wife, she's back home and I've been chatting with her. It's been last 4 years where we are trying to get to Wimbledon, but I've been playing matches for Sussex.
Bumrah over the wicket to bowl to Crawley, and Crawley comes forward and pushes that away towards backward point, where it's picked up by Jadeja and there's no run.
And whenever I wanted to go and watch Wimbledon, there was a match for Sussex, and I didn't want to skip a game to watch Wimbledon. I would love to watch Wimbledon at some point, maybe next year, because my wife is coming on 12th, but we may not make it because I'm here doing commentary stints. So yeah, we may not get the time to go and watch Wimbledon, but maybe next year.
Yeah, 1 year you can make it.
Yeah, definitely.
This is Bumrah, pitter-patter run, and then into his stride, bowls to Crawley. Crawley defends, gets it past short leg, and they go through for 1. Jaiswal goes back and fields. Crawley moves to 18 and a score to 35 for no wicket. You couldn't really. It's not advisable, is it, to pull a sickie and say to Sussex, I'm not feeling very well, I think I'll skip this game and then get photographed at Wimbledon or get caught on TV or something like that.
That wouldn't be nice.
No, probably not the best approach.
Yeah. And my wife, she told me that if you want to go alone and watch the game, she wouldn't mind, but I didn't want to do that.
Right, because you promised you'd go together.
This is in our bucket list, so it has to be completed by both of us.
35 for no wicket. Bumrah goes in and bowls to Duckett. Oh, that curves away up the slope. Good bowling from Bumrah. Well played by Duckett, just lining it up and allowing it to go past the off stump and through to Rishabh Pant.
Since we are talking about Wimbledon, who is your favourite tennis player?
Oh, well, tennis is not my game, really.
Okay.
The reason, and people who listen to this program will know that one of the reasons for that is when I was growing up, the BBC used to have Wimbledon coverage and the Test match coverage at the same time on one channel, so they used to mix and match, except when Wimbledon was on, after this ball from Bumrah, it goes into bowl to Duckett, and Duckett angles that away, it's stopped in the gully, and there's no run. And that's the end of Bumrah's first over from this end, the nursery end. It's 35 for no wicket. So when it was Wimbledon time, it's shared coverage of the Test match, whereas most of the time when there's no tennis, the Test